Hello, today I'm going to be presenting my inspection report. Before I present my inspection report, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Aar-Nadif. I'm a student here at Algonquin College. I'm doing computer programming, and I speak English, French, and Somali. I live in Ottawa. I was born September 26, 2002. I just graduated from Louis Riel High School and got a high school diploma and certificate in bilingualism. So what I'm going to be inspecting today is a Super Mario 64, and the relevance of this game is because it came like at a time where there were a lot of good games that came out, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Portal, BioShock, and all and etc. So the criteria I'm going to be based on is on Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. And what I'm going to be inspecting is the story, controls, gameplay, music, overworld, level, and boss. And the method that I'm going to be using to inspect this game is playing this on Super Mario 3D All Star, and I'm going to be playing on my Nintendo Switch. I'm going to use my TV, and I'm going to use my Joy Cons since it's motion control. So the story is like a little different from the usual Mario, where the Mario game where you usually like you save the Peach from Bowser and all that stuff. But this time it's like really different. So the story is about like each every like 100 years, like before the Star Festival, like a comet passes by and like it releases like a star bit. And so Peach, she invites Mario to her castle to celebrate the Star Festival, but Bowser, he comes and he attacks the Mushroom Kingdom and he kidnaps Peach and he says that he's gonna create his own galaxy. And so when Mario was gonna like running after them, he got like knocked out by Kamek, and so gets knocked out, and he wakes up like in a planet where he meets Luma and Rosalina, and they tell him, "Oh, Bowser has taken all the Power Stars and the Grand Stars," and they ask him for your help to retrieve all of them so that they save the galaxy and Peach. I like this story because it's like very original, not like the usual story where you always have to like the same old story. You have to save Peach, defeat Bowser, and all that stuff. But there's another side of the story where you could like in the library in the observatory you could read like the backstory of Rosalina. And the gameplay is like very different from the 3D Mario game. Like now it's like with motion controls, so with when you shake the controller, you can make Mario spin, and like any like usual like 3D Mario game, the goal is like to collect a power star, and like the galaxies are like very fun to like play around, like to explore. And since it's like in space right now, since this game it takes place in space, there's like a gravity mechanic where like the center of gravity of like the planet it like pulls you down, and that's like really like interesting. And like after like completing like a galaxy, you can choose like to play like the like collect the prankster star, which are basically like harder versions of the galaxy. Like for example, they're gonna like make give you like only one life and time limit and etc. If you collect like 100 stars, which is like in the game, you can play like as Luigi, which is like the harder version of this game because he jumps higher and he slips on ice. He slips like he's on ice. And the total like number of stars in this game is like 240 stars. So the replayability in this game is like really good. The controls are pretty good. Mario, he moves really fluently. It's like not hard for him to like to control them. But in some parts of the game, they force you to use motion controls, like in the race surfing and Starball, which are basically, in my opinion, like the worst levels in the game. They force you to like use the controller, making you move like awkwardly, which can hurt your hands. But and also like this requires you like a lot of like precise movements. Like the motion controls are not like good to like, make precise movements because if you like move your hands like to the right, like too farther, like you can't control them, like it's too hard. And yeah, and so the power ups like in this game are like really amazing and original. Like Bee Mario, which allows you to like you're basically like a bee, and the returning fire flower, which basically you shoot flower from your hands, and the Boo mushroom, which allows you to like be like a ghost, like Boo, and the new ice flower, which allows you to walk on water, which you turn into ice, and you could like wall jump on the waterfalls. The spring mushroom, which allows you to like jump, and the red star, which is like your makes you fly, and the rainbow star, which is basically like the Star Man, where you're just invincible for like a temporary time. And in my opinion, like the worst power up in the game is like the spring mushroom. Like it's just so hard, so frustrating. Like he just jumps around, like you can't control them, and it's just frustrating to move with it. And the only thing I have a problem with is like the red star, because you can only use like in the observatory. You can't use them like in other levels. And yeah, I think the what I think about power ups is pretty good. So next is the boss. So in total, this game has 23 bosses. Some of them are great, but some aren't, because half of them are like basically like the copies, original copies of the original. So for example, the Dino Piranha, which is like a good like the first boss in the game, which is like pretty good, but like its copy, Fiery Dino Piranha, is like just a copy of it. Like nothing changed. And another example is like when you fight Bowser, like his first fight was like really good, but the final boss was like the same thing. Like it wasn't challenging, in my opinion. Nothing changed. Just like he just grabs you. That's the only thing that changed. I think they could have just made it like some bosses like original. And yeah, and next is the music. I think the music is really great. Like this is one of the best the soundtracks in like any Mario game. It was composed by Koji Kondo and Mahito Yakoda. It was performed by Super Mario Galaxy Orchestra. Like this soundtrack feels like an orchestra. It doesn't feel like the usual Mario soundtrack where like it's all happy and stuff. It's actually like an orchestra like with classical music. For example, like in the observatory, it's like more relaxed, like it's like a relaxed music, which makes it alive. And next is the overworld, which is like this it has an amazing hub world for this game. Like it's really fun to explore. You can do a lot of things in the hub world, like you could feed a hungry Luma, or you can like read the backstory of like Rosalina. Like in other 3D Mario games, like Mario 64, like the overworld was kind of like empty. There's like you just like in Peach's castle, you could just jump and paint. You couldn't like interact with like with people. But in I know like it was like the first like 3D Mario game, so like in later games they started like making like little side quests in the hub world and little secrets you can do. And so the hub world in this game is like really amazing. What I think the results of it, like it passed my inspection. There wasn't any like bad outcomes in the game. There was no game breaking glitch. No, when I'm inspecting, there wasn't any like unusual outcome. In conclusion, when I inspected the game, it was so great, the music, the gameplay, the power ups, and much more. What I would recommend for improving is like to rely less on motion controls, because I think that many games like the Star Ball need precise controls, because with motion controls it's like really hard. And and another one, you can like maybe make the bosses like original, just not like copies like of the original. And if you would like another game report, contact me at my email over here. And this is my sources for the inspection. Thank you for listening.